The capitalist warrior digs his grave with a voice that could make demons quiver. He's the prognosticator, the truth giver, blasting through the speakers with deadly precision. His words cut deep, causing global division. The CIA levels of assessment, he's got them all, unmasking the lies, watching empires fall. Ruthless and relentless, he takes a stand, bringing a hammer down on the corruption of the land. No politician, nobody is safe from his wrath. He's the business badass, here on the warpath. Ghost, predicting the future. Ghost, sparking synapses. Ghost, the badass of business. Yeah, now get ready. True Capitalist Radio starts right now. Now. Fucking punks. Fucking punks.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And shut that shit up. Hey, what's going on, folks? Thank you very much for tuning in with me. I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is an episode of True Capitalist Radio, episode number 689, for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets and throughout the world. And let everybody let them all know that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is in effect and in the house. And let me tell you, I've got mods in every damn chat room that's out there. And if there's any kind of trolley garbage, kick them the hell out of here. All right? Kick them the hell out of here. I don't give a crap who they are. We don't want any of this damn troll crap seeping into the True Capitalist Radio show. And by the way, for this episode 689 of the True Capitalist Radio Show, we are not having any text-to-speeches whatsoever. All right? So there's not going to be any text-to-speeches. If you'd like to donate, you could do some rumble rants like Five Finger Prostate Punch just did right there. Hurry up, chubby boy. And by the way, I almost forgot. Let me go ahead and put on the rumble chat on the screen here. All right, let me go ahead and do that right now. Let me see. I thought I had already done that. I thought we already did this, engineer. All right, well, we're going to put the rumble chat into the stream here. Excuse me, my apologies. We're still trying to get everything up and running here, if you will. All right, so just please bear with me. God damn it. Don't say boomer. Kick anybody out that says boomer versus technology, all right? Whoever the hell, kick them out. I don't care who it is. Kick them the hell out. All right, because I don't want any trolls in any of these chat rooms. Get them the hell out of here. I don't really give a shit who they are. All right, we got serious business. And, of course, you can still donate on Buy Me a Coffee as well. As you see, JSEV, Ghost is a PSYOP, which yeah, great. And Criminally Autistic, you ain't kicking or banning anyone. You just fake the rage. Yeah, thanks a lot for that Rumble rant, you piece of crap. All right, anyway, folks, let me go ahead and try this again and try to insert the Rumble, because we're going to do the Rumble chat, all right? I'm not even joking around. We're not raiding Devious Dave over there at Rumble. We're not raiding anybody. This is a serious broadcast, and we're going to try to weed out all the damn stupid troll terrorists, cyber vermin scumbags. And like I said, a True Capitalist Radio Show is going to be its own entity. It's going to be its own individual brand, and we're certainly not going to affiliate.
I'd buy that.
Dude, Jesus fucking Christ. Take donation alerts off. I thought I had already stopped the text-to-speech, for Christ's sake. Why does it say disable on donation alerts? Well, anyway, you can donate all you want to. It's not going to show up, all right? And it's not going to say anything. All right, so you can donate all you want to. It ain't going to say a goddamn thing. The text-to-speech bitch isn't going to do a damn thing. So that's all there is to it, all right? Anyway, what's going on to Bill? You're finally doing what everyone has been telling you to do. Turn off the text-to-speech. unfortunately, it's still going to go, but you're not going to hear anything, for Christ's sake, all right, whatsoever.
I'd buy
As
that
you can
for
see.
$1.
All right, thank you very much for text-to-speech, and you're just going to hear that. You're not going to hear the text-to-speech, bitch. It's not going to happen, all right? So, seriously, I'm done with you trolls, all right? So just piss off. Really, I'd like for you all to please piss off. Anyway, we've got Cat Cans who hooked it up with a Rumble rant. They always say I waste my money with Rumble rants, but one of my go-to stocks is SQQQ, which is actually an inverse 3 times on the NASDAQ. I'm very familiar with it. Came through with 6% today, and I took profits, so let me waste it. Well, cheers to Cat Cans over there with the Rumble rant. Cheers to you. And we got Five Finger Prostate Punch. Can you start the TCR with a serious... All right, I'm not acknowledging that. I'm not acknowledging any troll terrorist stupid crap. I'm not doing it, man. All right? I'm not doing it. And what's going on to the people at D-Live? We got Marshall Bernsey with a diamond. D-Live Chads, where the hood at? All right? Anyway, folks, let's go ahead and get this party started. And let's talk about some markets here. Let me go ahead and lower this chat room a little bit. And let me switch positions while I'm at it. All right, let me switch positions here. Where are we at here? All right, let me go from here and let me go down to here. All right. Now, with that being said, yeah, here's Menno Ray. Yeah, thanks a lot for the Rumble rant, Menno Ray. I'm not even going to acknowledge it because you're a piece of troll terrorist crap. But let's go ahead and go with the PC shot. As we can see, folks, all right, we took a major dive in the market today. The Dow Jones Industrial was down 1.49%. The S&P 500 was also down 1.57%. And the NASDAQ was down a whopping 2.04% for the day. All right, now, the reason that we're seeing a decrease massively in the market is because the Federal Reserve meets. Actually, they met today. There should be some kind of an announcement with them tomorrow. So we shall see what the hell is happening. But obviously, as I said at the end of last year, when everybody was trying to price in some kind of rate decrease in the early portion of 2024, I told everybody, hey, calm your ass down. Let's look at the data. And the data's come about. And as a result, this is why you're not going to see a decrease, at least anytime soon, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that we couldn't see one at the end of this year, which is what I predicted some time ago, but we shall still see. And Lazy Dude with a Rumble rant, hashtag Vaughn never dies. Yeah, that's great. I appreciate it. And Menno Ray, yeah, thanks a lot for the Rumble rant, you piece of troll terrorist crap. We're not trolling here, all right? So if you're going to troll, go ahead and get the hell out of here. Nobody wants to see you here. And mods, kick some of these people out of here. I mean, seriously, kick some of these stupid troll terrorist assholes, especially in Rumble. Kick them the hell out of here. All right? Especially in Rumble. Kick them out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start kicking people out. All right? I'm going to start kicking people. Just kick these fucking people out of here. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them, for Christ's sake. Get them out of here. Get them all the hell out of here. Get them all out. I don't want to see any of these pieces of trash. Get them all out of here. All right? I mean, I thought I had mods here, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ. Anyway, as I was stating, all right, we're trying to, hook it up with a serious show here, and we don't want any of these troll terrorist scumbags out. We don't want them out of here, all right? We want them out of here, so kick them the hell out of here. Oh, you can't kick me? Hey, kick them out of here. Kick them all out. God, Jesus Christ, wrong one. Jesus Christ. Where are the fucking mods, dude? Where are the fucking mods? Son of a bitch, dude. Kick these fucking people out of here. Kick them out.
I'd buy
Kick
that
them
for
the fuck
$1.
out. And of course, I'm not acknowledging that. That's a stupid, ridiculous, dumb fucking dox. I am not acknowledging that. Anyway, folks, look, I'm trying here. I'm trying. Unfortunately, we have a dumb, stupid... Dude, kick these fucking people the fuck out of here. Kick them the fuck out. All right? Kick them the fuck... I don't care who they are. Kick them the fuck out of here. Jesus fucking Christ. All right? I'm not joking around. Anybody talking garbage, kick them the fuck out of here. I really don't care. I really don't give a shit. All right? I really don't give a fuck. So kick them the hell out of here. All right? I'm not even joking. Dude, kick them all out. Jesus Christ. You know what? Everybody that I made a mod today, you're a bunch of shit. You know that? Everybody that I made a mod today, you're a bunch of garbage. All right? And, I would like, what? Take Rumble off. I don't want any chats on here. All right? Take them off. I'm not fucking joking around. Kick these fucking trolls out of the TCR chat. I don't want them anywhere near this fucking show. Get them out of here. All right? It's bad enough that I have to sit here and put up with them on the Ghost Show. Kick them the fuck out of here. I'm not fucking joking around. Kick them out. Yeah, no shit. Let's put the kick stream on the fucking chat then. You know what I mean? Let's kick. Since Rumble, these fucking idiots are sitting here, just kick them the fuck out of here. Kick Rumble off of here. Kick them out of here. We're doing. We'll put kick chat in the fucking goddamn screen, for Christ's sake. Thought we'd have something. I thought we had fucking mods over there at Rumble, but I guess fucking not, dude. So it is what it is. All right. Oh, is this gonna fucking go? Are we gonna have the kick chat? Is it gonna fucking come on the screen here? Jesus Christ. I hate you fucking trolls. I swear to God, man. Why can't y'all fucking leave and just go away, man? All right? Just go away. Jesus fucking Christ. Makes me sick. All right? Seriously, everybody get out of here. I'm not modding anybody. Get them out. Get them out of here, for Christ's sake. You know what? Never mind. You know what? This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. This was an absolute bad idea. I'm sorry, man. Look, I'm trying to get rid of these trolls here, and I thought I had some fucking mods. Unmod everybody from fucking Rumble.
I'd buy that
all right?
for $1.
Yeah, fuck you people, all right? I don't like Vox Artificials and all the hair of the dog. Kick them the fuck out of here. All right, I'm taking this time to ban. I'm taking the time to ban everybody. I'm not kidding around. Ban these fucking people. Ban everybody. I'm not fucking joking around. Ban Baka Survivor. That dude's a fucking complaining piece of shit, fucking middle-aged idiot. Get him out of here. All right? Get them all out of here. Jesus fucking Christ. Get them all the fuck out of here. I'm not joking around. All right? Baka Survivor, go fuck off until the fucking Ghost Show, you stupid idiot. Get out of here. Get them all out. I don't give a shit who they are. Get them all the fuck out of here. Dude. All right, yeah, get them all out. Kick them all. I don't give a shit who they are. I'm kicking everybody out of here. I'm kicking them all out. I don't really give a fuck. All right, I really don't care. Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry, folks. I'm trying to start a show. As you can see, we've got 2-bit losers that are going to be on the front lines of Operation Meat Shield once World War III pops off, and we're waiting for that to happen. I can tell you that right goddamn now. All right? So let me tell you something. Ban these fucking pieces of trash that are talking garbage. All right? Ban them all off here. Get them out of here. I don't give a shit who they are. Get them out. I don't want them acknowledged at all on this broadcast. All right? Anyway, as I was stating, the reason that we're seeing a decrease in the market is because of the uncertainty on what the hell the Fed is going to do when it comes to interest rates. Now, look, I don't mean to be tooting my own horn here, but I did say this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I did say this was going to happen. I mean, we take a look at the current rate of inflation right now. Put the PC shot on. The current rate right now is at 3.48%. So we're still some ways from 2%, but I always said that the Fed was going to compromise, which they've pretty much alluded to at this point in time, that they were going to compromise at about 2.5%, which is what has been suggested. All right? So that right there, in my personal opinion, is really the forecast of the economy at this point in time.
I'd buy that for $1.
Anyway, with that being said, what we're going to do here, take off Buy Me a Coffee, dude. Take these idiots. I just take them all off. All right? I'm trying to have a show here. Just take them the hell out of here. Anyway, as I was stating, folks, all right, the Federal Reserve is meeting today. Put the PC shot on. The Federal Reserve is meeting today, and a dovish message is unlikely at the Fed. I mean, no crap, a dovish message is unlikely. I wouldn't be surprised if they attempted to try to maybe raise the interest rate 0.25%, in my personal opinion. Because we need to get to at least the 2.5% mark before the Fed even attempts to try to cut rates. And by the time they cut rates, folks, is when we, as the American investor, as the American consumer, we will definitely see the side effects from that. We will begin to see the contraction from that point on. And let me explain why we haven't seen the contraction up to this point. But before I do, I just want to toot my own horn here and just play a little bit of an episode that I put out of True Capitalist Radio back in March 16th of 2022. Put the PC shot on. Now, this is still available on Spotify, which I think I'm going to go ahead and continue to upload on there as well. But you take a look at episode 567 of the True Capitalist Radio Show, March 16th, 2022. This was the day that the Federal Reserve made its first interest rate hike. Now, what I'd like for everybody to do is I'd like for everybody to just listen to the prognosticator of prognosticators, and that's what we're going to do right here. So let's go ahead and let's put it to 1124, I believe it is, and let's just listen in. I don't mean to be tooting my own horn, but beep, beep. All right, play it. Now, in the mainstream business media, they have claimed that the Federal Reserve may just go 0.25% increased. Many have speculated maybe 0.50% increase. And I'll be honest with you, folks, if the Federal Reserve does this, I think it's a little bit of an irresponsible monetary policy on the Federal Reserve's part. Because, okay, I understand what the Federal Reserve is trying to do. It's trying to create a, quote, soft landing when raising interest rates, and they want to incrementally do it without affecting the markets majorly. But you see, folks, the rate of inflation is so high that 0.25%, 0.50% isn't going to make a dent in an inflation rate that is now 7.9%. It isn't even going to make a dent. And frankly, I think it could do more longer-term damage to the economy by not raising interest rates at least comparable to the rate of inflation. I think that we could prolong this problem. It could be very dangerous. And in my opinion, I think it's better to feel the sting now and curb this whole inflationary situation down now than it is to incrementally bring in interest rates at 0.25, 0.50, and hope that it curbs itself on its own. This is what the Federal Reserve has been speculating for the past couple of years. I mean, every time Powell has been sitting in front of the Congress, he keeps saying that, oh, well, don't worry, inflation is going to go away on its own. It's going to go away by the summer. It's going to go away by the fall. It's going to go away by next year. I mean, he's been just pushing and kicking this can down the road, thinking that miraculously it's going to solve itself, which it can't. So 0.25, 0.50 is irresponsible monetary policy. Now, me personally, folks, I think that you need somewhere, okay, between 2 and 5.5% increase. Minimum of 2% so that it can at least stop inflation. It's not going to curb. Now, I was saying this once again. This was March 16, 2022, the day that the Fed made its first interest rate hike in some time. Now, as I stated back then, I think that we needed at the very minimum 2% increase right off the bat so that I could at least stop inflation. It wasn't going to necessarily put a dent in it, but it would stop inflation. But as I'm going to allude to here, once again, March 16, 2022, I alluded to that we needed a 5% increase right off the bat, and I explain why here in a minute. But it'll stop it instantaneously. A 2% increase, in my opinion, will affect the market, but it won't affect the market as much as if you were to raise interest rates at the rate of inflation. So in my opinion, 2% is minimum so that we can start getting integrity back into the United States dollar, bringing value back to the dollar, while at the same time not necessarily impacting markets at a very instantaneous rate as it would if you raised it to 5 or 7%. Now, me personally, I mean, I think 2% is minimum. I think maximum you need about 5.5%. You see, 5.5% will obviously cause the markets to go into free fall downturn. And that's a consequence of raising interest rates. The whole purpose of raising interest rates is to artificially bring the cost of everything down by increasing value in the dollar. Now, people are asking, wait a minute, Ghost, I don't understand this. How does raising interest rates bring value back to the dollar? Well, you see, folks, now here is where I explain that when the Fed raises rates, that's their way of recalling outstanding fiat
I'd buy
currency.
that for $1.
And as a result, that's why they raise interest rates to tighten liquidity. Liquidity meaning outstanding currency notes. So with that being said, we should have been seeing a decrease in prices as a result of this. We have not yet. And let me explain why we haven't seen decreases in any of the prices, considering that we've had a substantial time of monetary policy. The first thing that I would like to point out is government spending, okay? Now, even though the Federal Reserve is tightening monetary policy, meaning raising rates in order to recall outstanding currency notes that have been printed out for the past 20 years, we have our government spending right now. Take a look at this. We have spent $3.25 trillion this year in 2024 alone. And you see what happens, folks, is that $3 trillion is not necessarily printed out. The government borrows it from the Federal Reserve and then uses it as it sees fit. And what you're seeing here is, folks, that even though you have a semi-aggressive monetary tightening policy by the Fed, we have what I like to call synthetic dollars that are being created by not just the United States government spending. I'm going to explain the second one in a minute, but government spending is crucial because this is a substantial amount of money pumped back into the economy, because where does all this money go? It goes to the military-industrial complex. It goes to healthcare. It goes to people collecting entitlements. It goes to pork barrel spending, and all that money is distributed, and it's back into the economy. So even though the Fed is trying to have an aggressive stance when it comes to monetary tightening, it can't do it. It's not making an effect on inflation because you've got these synthetic credit dollars that are now being created and being redistributed into the circulation of the monetary system. So this is why the Fed cannot, and I repeat, cannot put a curb right now on inflation. And this is why Janet Yellen was in front of the Congress today, trying to tell the government that their government spending is unsustainable. And you see, this is why we're going to continue to see inflation so long as there's no fiscal responsibility by our goddamn government. So as a result, folks, this is why the Federal Reserve, even though it's had a very substantial, at least time-wise, monetary tightening policy, this is the reason why you don't see the decrease in prices, which is what the whole motivation for raising interest rates was to begin with. So this right here is a major factor on why we're not seeing inflation going down. We've got too many fucking government-borrowed dollars being repumped right into the circulation of the monetary system. So the second thing, aside from government spending, which is something that somebody needs to clamp down on, it certainly isn't going to be the goddamn the GOP. I mean, the GOP left fiscal responsibility when Trump took office and put more on the government debt than Barack Obama. And Barack Obama put more debt on the government debt than all presidents before Obama combined. So let me tell you something right now. We have to do something about this damn government debt, or we're all going to pay the price. Anyway, hold on. The one big noob with a Rumble rant. No way you're finally a PNG tuber when you're going 3D. I'm not going 3D, all right? Anyway, as I was stating, government spending is really what's causing this inflation to stay. And a second thing, I mean, let's be honest, the second thing is personal debt. All right, the United States personal debt. There is a substantial amount of debt. And let me show you this on a graphic here. Let me show you what's going on when it comes to the consumer. Okay, and this is just based on credit card debt. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. Okay, now this red line represents the amount of credit card debt. This does not include, other outstanding debts like college loans and that sort of thing. This is credit card debt. And this other line right here is consumer savings. You know, what people have in their savings account. And as you can see highlighted right here, we had the biggest spike in savings in American history during COVID. And take a look at how this completely not only dwindled into, below pre-COVID levels when it comes to savings, but take a look at the all-time high in credit card debt. So right now, folks, what we're seeing, because the Fed is trying to crack down on inflation by monetary tightening, and the reason inflation isn't coming down is because, once again, what do I call these? Artificial dollars. These artificial dollars are now circulating, and they're the ones, in my personal view, are the reason why we do not have inflation curbing itself at this point in time. All right, and by the way, anybody who is saying boring, get them out of here, dude. Where are the mods, man? Jesus Christ, I'm telling you, man. You try to make people mods and they just sit there and jerk off. Kick these fucking people out of here. Kick them all out. All right, sir, kick them out of here. Jesus, kick them the fuck out, man. God damn it. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Anyway, sorry, folks. I thought we had mods here. I thought we were gonna, have a better show than this and that, and and kick these people out. I don't want any of the fucking people that are a part of the Ghost Show in here. Get them out of here. I don't give a shit if I'm only broadcasting to a few people. I don't give a fuck. Get them the hell out of here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, banning on kick is cancer. Yeah, no kidding, man. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm kicking everybody, man. Kick them all the hell out of here. Anyway, I'm sorry that I'm once again getting sidetracked, but before we move on to something else, this chart represents what the hell the American public is working with right now. And whenever you hear these people on TikTok say, oh, I can't afford this and I can't afford that, yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? The reason they can't afford it is because they are in personal debt. And all they're doing is working to pay off the interest of that debt just so that they can keep whatever prized possessions that they have financed in their possession. So this is the problem right now that we're having when it comes to our economy. All right? Now, with that being said, we should be seeing prices come down. We aren't. On the contrary, take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Fast food prices, which I'm pretty sure you've seen on social media. And good God, with this broad, I don't know what the hell that broad was about. But anyway, fast food prices surged faster than inflation in the past decade. Now, part of this has to do with the increase in commodities. And I've talked about this in that same show that I just showed you from Spotify, that we were going to see an increase in commodities because of the scarcity that was caused by COVID and the COVID vaccine mandates by Joe Biden. And our gums are still bleeding from that. And as a result, you combine that with this push by a bunch of lazy piece of garbage people in this country that expect to get $25 an hour to do absolutely nothing. Okay? Now, unfortunately, we've got lunatic states like California that have mandated now any fast food business in that state has to pay these fucking losers $25 an hour. And then the consumer in that piece of shit state get pissed that a goddamn Big Mac supersized meal costs $20 to $25. Do you understand? This is why fast food is going up in price. It's because of the wages. It is a disgrace, and I cannot believe that people are out here thinking that, mandating $20 an hour for fast food workers is going to be a great thing. It isn't. And now you've got everybody pissing and moaning about how they can't go to a McDonald's without dropping $20-something. You're paying for the labor. And, you still have people bitching about the labor in this country. They, don't pay enough. They don't pay enough. Take a look at this. Worker pay rose more than expected in Q1, and another sign of persistent inflation. So, once again, folks, this economy that we're living in, and I hate to agree with Janet Yellen. She was taking a lot of flack today because she was in front of Congress, and she reiterated that the economy is not terrible. And that the reason that the folks that are out here that are bitching and moaning about the economy, they're just spoiled. They're just spoiled. I hate to say it. Let me tell you something. If you had any experience in the 2009 crash of Obama, That was one of the roughest times in modern day history, in my opinion, at least in the 21st century. Because let me tell you something right now. When Obama came along, not only did he put half the people on welfare, I'm talking to half the American population, but he passed Obamacare and the Obamacare mandate, meaning that employers had to pay for their employees' health insurance if they were a full-time employee. So as a result, there was no full-time work. There was no full-time work back then. So people were juggling around 2 or 3 or 4 part-time jobs in order to get by. There was absolutely no liquidity, and it was an absolute horror show. Unfortunately, the young people that are now have grown up today, that are in the college age range or a little higher, these folks didn't really experience that hardship, and now they feel that hardships are nothing more than the equivalent of not being able to get their $12 latte on a daily basis. So this is where we're at. I mean, Americans are such disconnected. They are disconnected from reality, and it's a shame. It's an utter shame because it's a detriment to our country in more ways than one. And what's going on to Reverend Ralph with a $20 Rumble rant? Thanks for doing a serious show for us, bro. Abolish the minimum wage. Yeah, no kidding, man. Cheers to Reverend Ralph, $20 Rumble rant. Cheers to you. And we've got Trolling the Interwebs in the house with a $20 Rumble rant. Cheers, Ghost. Loving the show so far. Well, thank you very much, Trolling the Interwebs and Reverend Ralph. Cheers to you both, man. I hope you're having a great Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, and I'm glad that you guys are appreciating the show, man, all right? Anyway, thank you, Five Finger Prostate Punch. But once again, this is why we're having such an epidemic when it comes to not only fast food prices rising, but general food prices rising, because we have to pay these people that think that they deserve so much money. It's a joke. And you know who actually wins in this? You know, while fast food, you know, the McDonald's and those types of establishments, while they're going up in price, the folks like Applebee's and Chili's, they're going down in price. Have you seen them recently? On a side note, I mean, they got like $9.99 burger and fries with a drink. You know, I mean, they're able to do that because most of the folks that work in those establishments, I'm talking about corporate chain restaurants like Applebee's and Chili's, most of these folks are working on service industry hourly wage, which is like $2.50 an hour. They base their whole income on tips. The bartender, you know, the servers, you know, everybody in the front house at corporate restaurants, they only get paid the service industry wage, which is like $2.50 an hour. And then they expect to get the rest of their money on tips. The only people that they have to pay an hourly wage to, and I'm talking about corporate restaurants, are the people in the back. And I don't know if you've ever been to a back of a, Applebee's or a Chili's. I mean, it's usually ex-cons, you know, that are, you know, I'm just saying. But that's how these corporate restaurants are now beating the fast food people. So, I mean, no, sign of the times, man. Sign of the times. But anyway, folks, I would like to give some people some suggestions when it comes to the stock market. There's people that are wanting me to talk stocks here.
I'd buy that for $1.
Flicker, I have a 2011 car. I think it's going to need major work in a year. Is it a good time to get a new car, or should I wait? I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of new cars. I think that this new EV shit is a joke. But in my personal opinion, I think that we're starting to see a come down in car prices because of the interest rate hikes. Now, whether or not that's suitable for you is a whole other question, because the APR on that thing is probably in the 20 percentile range if you're going to have to finance it. But if you've got cash, I think it's a fairly decent time. It'd probably even get better here in the next couple of months. All right, and hold on. We got Real Female in Rumble. Hey, Ghost, got surgery tomorrow. Wish me luck removing my breast due to a small tumor they found. Oh, my God. Well, I hope, wish nothing but the best for you there, Real Female, and I hope everything's all good, man. That's horrible. But anyway, let me explain something for everybody who's a stock investor out there. You all know that I've been a very aggressive day trader for some time. Well, day trading right now is not lucrative at all. And it hasn't been lucrative here for the past several weeks because of the liquidity tightening. I mean, there's more people that are selling now in order to pay off, debts, in order to pay off their house, in order to reallocate liquid, whatever the case might be. So you have more people in this market that are selling than they are buying at this point in time. And in my personal view, folks, if you take a look at any of the percentage gainers in whatever daily session, you take a look at them in the pre-market, and once the bell rings, they go off like a bat out of hell, and then gradually the damn price decays completely. The price decays completely, and you're seeing that traditionally across the board here. And anyway, as I was stating, what you want to do now, I think everybody who wants to play this market needs to go either micro or small cap growth stocks. Micro or small cap growth stocks is what people need to go to, in my personal view. And, I may or may not give people suggestions. I am now allocating portions of my portfolio to micro and small cap growth stocks, because right now, folks, the majority of the market money is in 12 large cap stocks right now. 12 large cap stocks in this stock market hold 80% of the market liquid right now. And you could see institutional investors, the hedge funds and the mutual funds, and these folks that can't escape and liquidate the market, they got to keep the other people's money in there. Well, they're starting to allocate their resources to particular stocks like micro and small cap, particularly in biotech. And right now, I'm heavily invested in biotech at this point in time. And I think everybody should start identifying opportunities, not necessarily just in biotech, but once again, small, micro, and small cap stocks that are coming off 52-week lows and that have growth potential. Because that's where the institutions right now are reallocating their money. And once we start seeing a contraction, we're going to see it, and we're going to see it fast. Because as I stated, 80% of the money in this market is in 12 stocks. So anyway, what's going on? We got five-finger prostate punch. Would it be better to just hold cash at the moment and wait for the fall? I mean, you can. I mean, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't. But even though you're going to have a lot of people selling in the market when the crash happens, it's only going to happen to those 12 stocks that have 80% of people's money in it. I mean, that doesn't mean that, it's going to crash, that all the market, the money's going to leave the market. Hedge funds have to stay there. The retail investors are going to sell because they have to. They got to pay their bills. But institutional hedge funds and people that are in charge of retirement funds and mutual funds, they have to stay in the market. And they have to take the money that they have, whether it be part of this 80% that's in the 12 stocks or elsewhere, and allocate them in the stocks that I'm suggesting now, because they can't leave. All right, these folks can't leave the market. So that's why I'm suggesting that if you have opportunities, which there are plenty of opportunities right now, in my opinion, in biotech, that you can get biotech companies right now at $1, maybe some under $1, maybe a couple of dollars at 52-week lows right now that have growth potentials, that have maybe some drugs in phase 1 or phase 2 in the process of experimentation. This is where I'm putting my money in right now. Not a whole bunch. I mean, I'm still basically mostly cash. But I'm definitely, heavily invested in mRNA technology at this point, because that's what everybody's got in their body now. I'm heavily invested now in stocks that are targeting these, what do you call it, super cancers that are now being prevalent amongst people post-COVID, ironically enough. I'm also heavily invested in mental health, believe it or not, an alternative to mental health. I'm not talking about SSRI drug companies. I'm invested in one company that is using, or at least experimenting in, psychedelics. Now, this is a very scary arena when it comes to pharmaceuticals, because psychedelics has only become an area of potential mental health treatment in the past 4 years. Now, what's going to happen is, in this company that I'm invested in, It's called Invariant Bioscience, ENVB. I own the stock, all right? Just, putting that disclosure out there. I do own the stock. ENVB, it's under $1 right now, coming off 52-week lows. Now, the reason I like this stock is because not only is it coming off 52-week lows, but it actually is having growth potential within its bottom line. Secondly, I like that it is using psychedelics in an attempt to try to make a new market for mental health. Now, let me explain what I'm talking about here. This company, and I am invested in this, okay, just FYI. And this is not advice. I'm just giving you the explanation on why I've got like about a 5,000 or 6,000 share investment in this thing, is because it's taking the good part of hallucinogenics. Now, if you ever talk to somebody who has taken, mushrooms or LSD, there's always some kind of after effect in which the person feels like they have a new leash on life. They feel great after the whole microdose or the big trip or whatever, that after effect where everything feels great. Well, that right there is what Invariant Biosciences is trying to not only isolate, but it is now constructed. It has created a synthetic, a synthetic type of chemical that is natural, because it is the non-hallucinogenic portions of the hallucinogenic drug. It's only incorporating the after effect that, everything's great. Life is great. It's only incorporating that.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hold on, Rattler. A good money move would be putting money in a CD account because of the high rates. I managed to get a CD at 5%. I don't get up in the morning for 5%, but I understand there are a lot of conservative investors out there, so I get you. All right, that's a strategy. Hey, I'm getting 5% on my money. I get it. But anyway, as I was stating, this particular synthetic component, it is now patentable, and it's only taking the chemicals that are not hallucinogenic and combining it to where when they put this particular chemical in some kind of dosage form, that you're going to be able to get that feeling of a post-hallucinogenic trip. That good feeling like, And you see, this is where the money's at, in my personal opinion, when it comes to biotech, psychedelics for mental health. This is where the money's at. And the company CEO, he said in an interview recently that because they're already going into phase 1 on this particular compound, which is patentable, which only incorporates the non-hallucinogenic components, that he has already had interest expressed to him by the bigwigs like Pfizer's and the Eli Lillys, that if they can show after phase 1 that this damn thing doesn't hallucinate, that they're going to buy out the company. So this is just FYI. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. I'm just putting my bet on it. $5,000, for a 5,000 share part of ENVB. It's not that big of a deal, but if you take a look, if it has to get bought out, it has to get bought out over $20-something, right? At least. And if it's going to get bought out by the bigwigs, it's going to be because of the non-hallucinogenic compound that they've created. So it's kind of a big hit or miss opportunity, but either way, if they don't make it with that particular drug, they've already sold off a cannabinoid. Yeah, they created a cannabinoid medicinal situation, which they have now licensed. They've licensed another thing to treat bone disease. So they're a pretty big company. So this is why I'm invested in it, and that's one of many different investments that I have right now in biotech. And in my personal view, it's a 1 to 2 year type of an investment, ENVB. Symbol ENVB. And once again, I do own it, and I'm not advising people to buy it. I'm just telling you what I've got and why I've got it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin, all right, since we've been on here for 44 minutes and have barely gotten through the markets and shit, all right? Now, I did tell you all the last time that this was before the big push into the above all-time high rates of Bitcoin. I tried to tell y'all that they were going to go, this was for real, That you had BlackRock, you had these institutional investors out here pumping Bitcoin, and that this damn thing was gonna pop. And I told people that once it hit all-time highs, to watch your positions, because at any point that damn thing is going to stop and it's going to start contracting. And that's exactly what happened. And Jag the Luxray with a Ninja Guinea, know any websites for finding a house? Families selling their house next year need to make a plan. Well, Zillow, I mean, they're not sponsors. Redfin is another one. Apartments.com, that sort of thing. So I hope that helps Jag the Luxray, and good luck on that. But anyway, back to Bitcoin, folks. Take a look at this. The reason that Bitcoin is not doing too well is because, first of all, the ETF romance that the Bitcoin community was having prior to the approval has already worn out its welcome. Already wore out its welcome. And moreover, this recent halving, I can't stand with these stupid damn crypto tards talk about, oh, it's the halving. Meaning, I don't even want to explain it, but the halving means that there's only half left of the Bitcoin available to be mined. Now, with that being said, while I was in the inner circle, I was warning people that, the halving could potentially cause a dramatic decrease in the price of Bitcoin, because if there's less Bitcoin to mine, why are miners going to use their fucking GPUs and their electricity and all this other shit to process the blocks when there's no incentive to do so, when the mining yields are lower and lower? And that's exactly what's happening, folks. Take a look at this. Bitcoin mining stocks plummet as revenue slumps. And it's because of the halving, the Bitcoin halving. All right? And moreover, folks, as I was stating, the love affair with this Bitcoin ETF has finally wore out its welcome. That's why I told everybody we were going to see this damn thing go above all-time highs. I think we saw it to go up to like 74,000, I think it went up to. Now, not looking too good. And it's not looking too good because of the Bitcoin mining, because, let's be honest, folks, I just showed you all that debt that the consumers have, and people are having trouble finding liquid. And, if you've got Bitcoin, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and hold it for another 4 years, hoping that you get that unbelievable price that everybody keeps talking about, like 250,000, 500,000? Or are you going to sell it because you need the money to pay your fucking rent and to do shit right now? What are you going to do? Well, it seems to me, folks, that the majority of people, all right, we're probably going to liquidate. All right, put the PC shot on. Now, believe it or not, folks, today Bitcoin actually hit $59,000. All right, so right now it's not looking too good. See right here, we just hit about $59,163 about, I guess, a couple hours ago. And I guess people are buying that dip. But what exactly are you buying at this point? We're headed into a massive recession. And the only reason we know is because of all the consumer debt, the lack of personal consumer savings. You've got layoffs en masse. You're starting to see some upticks in defaults. The signs are there. So why exactly would you be buying in on this right now at this point in time? You're not. And who would buy $60,000 Bitcoin anyway? What do you get for $60,000? You could get a badass car for $60,000. You could put a down payment on a badass house for $60,000. So that's why I told everybody when we were riding this latest Bitcoin wave into the 70,000 mark, I was telling everybody that it was going to be temporary and that everybody should, weigh their positions on getting the fuck out of there right when it hit all-time highs. All right, so there it is right there. This is the goddamn Bitcoin price. I don't think it's going to go much higher. I think that everybody who cashed out, if you bought in at 28, 29, riding this thing, and you haven't fucking cashed out, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because it certainly does not look good for Bitcoin at this point in time. Who's going to keep this thing when the shit hits the fan and people need money? Who the fuck is going to trade for this thing when people are selling their goods and services? Hell, anybody who exchanges Bitcoin for goods, runs a massive risk on losing a massive amount of money. Just imagine if somebody had just purchased a house with Bitcoin at the Bitcoin price of $75K. Well, they're down $15,000 fucking dollars right now on each Bitcoin that they accepted, and that is a massive loss just for holding something that is supposed to be a alternative currency. So anyway, this is why I'm telling everybody, Bitcoin, I mean, it was good to, take the dumb money from folks, but I think people need to kind of recognize that, it's long done, man. It's long done. Anyway, we got some Rumble rants. We got a real female. I'm a bit scared, but I just think that I might have stage 2 breast cancer. Love you all, but Jag. Well, I hope not. I hope everything's all good. I would get a second opinion. I hope that everything's all right. Well, we'll be praying for you. We'll be praying for you, the real female. And Blade the Stelron runner, hey, thanks for the show today, Ghost. What's your opinion on the Mexican presidential campaign? Unfortunately, the most popular candidates are females, and you know what happens with female leaders. I know, and I'm a little apprehensive about what the hell is going to happen to Mexico, because right now, Mexico is having a decent economy. All right, I mean, they're having a decent economy, for Christ's sake. There's an emerging middle class. There's money exchanging hands, and the reason is because of the investments that American companies are putting into there. American companies are putting factories in there, which is creating an emerging middle class, and that's why most of the folks that are coming across the border are not Mexican. They're from other parts of Latin America, like Venezuela and El Salvador and all that shit, fucking Nicaragua and shit. But I don't like the fact that... Well, I think I tweeted here recently what I thought about women leadership, and let me let that tweet speak for itself. If you didn't get to see this, this is what I think, all right? This is what I think of women leadership right here. Put the PC shot on. Did y'all see this? Take a look at this. This is what I think of women leadership. Let's pop this shit out. Pop it out here. Can you pop this shit? Pop this shit out. This is what I think of women leadership. I want everybody to get a good look at this right here, all right? This is what I think of women leadership. Play it. Play this shit. All right, that's what I think of women leadership right there, all right? All right, take it out. Take it out of here. All right, that's enough. We get it. Anyway, folks, that's just my opinion, all right? That's just my opinion. All right, don't get mad. Don't shoot the messenger. Puerto Rican prostate punch. I just got approved for student loan forgiveness at $50K, so suck it. You actually paid $50K for a fucking education, and you got ripped off, bro. And Marshall Bernsey, what a bar of soap tastes the best. What bar of soap tastes the best? Who gives a shit? Excuse my French, folks, all right? Anyway, that concludes the financial portion of the broadcast. Let's go ahead and talk about some domestic things here, all right? Now, I don't mean to be a hyper-sensationalist, folks, but the reason that I am heavily invested in biotech is because I think the next pandemic is around the corner. I don't want it to happen. But people are idiots, and all you got to do is scare them a little bit with, oh, my God, you better put a mask on or you're going to kill Granny, and you better go out here. It's going to happen. I mean, all you have to do is live through that ridiculous, pathetic fucking COVID episode to know the probability of this happening again is highly probable. All right? And Five Finger Prostate Punch said he's holding physical gold and silver. Is there anything else he should hold? I think gold and silver and cash are where it's at. I think what I suggested, some small cap or micro cap bio stocks, I think are probably where it's at. And why? Like I said, the next pandemic is around the corner. What is it going to be? Who knows? Is it going to be, dun, 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 bird flu? Why we keep seeing egg prices spike. That's because bird flu is now making itself known, folks, okay? And guess what? Bird flu... It's not only affecting the eggs, it's not only going to affecting the birds. Did you hear about this? All of a sudden, everything in their fucking brother is now getting the goddamn bird flu. Have you heard about this shit? Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Dolphin is found infected with the highly pathogenic bird flu. So now, I don't know, a bird, I guess, penetrated the blowhole of a goddamn dolphin, and now supposedly a dolphin has been dead of bird flu. So here we go again, folks, all right? Oh, my God, a dolphin is dead? What else? What else is dead? Well, take a look at this. Don't ask me how, but they're trying to suggest that a walrus in the Arctic has now been found dead with bird flu. So you see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, folks, here we go again. Here we go again with this goddamn pandemic crap. And that's why I'm heavily invested. Because, look, lest we forget, let's take a look at Moderna. You know, that mRNA, Moderna, one of the vaxes. Prior to COVID, Moderna was fucking trading for like $1 and change. All right? Take a look at how much Moderna went up during the damn COVID. Hundreds of dollars, okay? So that's why yours truly is, kind of, spattered, a whole bunch of, different plays in the biotech arena. All right, so, I want to capitalize. If we're going to be locked down, I want to eat steak, is all I'm saying, all right? If I got to be locked down, I want to eat steak. I want to drink Johnny Walker Blue Label. I want to smoke Opus X cigars. I want the best, all right? And look, it's not just dolphins. It's not just walruses and birds. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. U.S. to test ground beef in states with bird flu outbreaks in dairy cows. Now, they're trying to now say that a bird flu has now crossed species, multiple species, okay? A bird flu has crossed species in dolphins, in walruses, and now they're suggesting that it may be in cows. I read another report that the reason that they're bringing it up is because they found it in cow sewage or some shit. So this is where it's at. And haven't you noticed, folks, that most of this bird flu stuff that I just described to you, it afflicts the healthiest of foods like eggs. Believe it or not, eggs is one of the most healthiest things that you can eat on a daily basis. All right? And, of course, we're at all-time highs again for eggs because of the goddamn bird flu. And, of course, beef. Haven't you seen the price of beef? I mean, I can't get a damn grass-fed ribeye without dropping $45, man. I'm talking, from a non-cooked, from the goddamn butcher. Prime, of course, but still. I mean, the reason is because they're trying to make food like this more expensive so that the average, everyday American public has no other option other than to eat processed crap. Because this is the healthy food for you to eat. Believe it or not, they couldn't stop you from eating beef by saying, oh, if you eat too much beef, you get cancer. That's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, if you eat too much beef, you get heart disease. That's a bunch of bullshit. So now they're making the healthiest foods that are out there so expensive that your average person can't afford them. And there's a reason for this, just like there was a reason for the vaccine that I guess I can't allude to because I may get banned. But a lot of people dropping dead miraculously. But let's just leave it at that. But they want you to be hooked on this processed food. Why is that? And trolling the interwebs with the Rumble Rant, this is just so that they can cut the beef supply and raise prices. I mean, it's obvious that they're going to raise prices, trolling the interwebs. I think it's more sinister than that. I think it's the same reasoning why you saw this ridiculous COVID-19 episode. The reason that you saw this mandating of this poison being injected in more than half the population of the world. I think there's a reason for this. And Five Finger Prostate Punch, sorry for backtracking, but is there any way we can get international trade without getting raped twice by taxes again? You need to talk to your fucking country on that one. Ghost is prepping to disappear using bird flu as an excuse. I'm not the big one, noob, all right? No, let me explain why this is happening. The healthiest foods are afflicted with a bird flu and this, and there's scarcity, raising the prices so that your average everyday American person cannot buy it. Why don't they want them to buy it? Because they want you to buy this processed crap. Why do they want you to buy processed crap? Well, let me show you. All right, let me show you why they want you to buy processed crap. What I'm about to show you here is an experiment.
One of
All right, this is an experiment that I hope everybody pays attention to. Put the PC shot on. All right, this is a experiment where they give rats, regular rats, let's just let it speak for itself. Play it.
One of the criticisms of the anti-sugar scientists is that too much of their evidence comes from animals, not humans. That said, here at Brown University in Rhode Island, they're doing studies they think should make a lot of humans nervous. This rat is perfectly healthy. Put him in a vat of water and he finds his way to safety every time.
5.2.
Now, look at this guy. What he's been eating is the equivalent of a North American diet, complete with all the fats and sugars we regularly consume. He doesn't know where to go. His brain has been damaged.
These rats were totally normal, and then they turned into demented animals.
They turned into demented animals. So doesn't that remind you of something, the current state of America, and how now you've got young kids questioning whether or not there's more than two genders? You've got young kids whether or not they should cut their wee-wees off at like 11 years old, take puberty blockers and all this other shit. This is the reason why I'm talking they, whoever you think they are, they're making these healthy foods like eggs, produce, livestock. That's why they're making it so expensive. So that each and every one of you folks that really don't pay attention to this shit go and eat Taco Bell every day and go and eat fucking McDonald's every day and think that, hey, I'm being nourished. Anyway, thank you very much. I just wanted to let everybody know this is what's happening. Bird flu, they're blaming it on, it's in the cows now. A walrus in the Arctic was found dead with bird flu. A fucking dolphin was found dead with a bird flu. And excrement with a rumble rat refusing to eat processed food full of bleach, corn syrup, and seed oils is deeply anti-Semitic. Whatever, excrement, shut up, all right? Anyway, folks, bird flu, be on the lookout for that. I mean, they're putting a lot of emphasis on it. And as we saw that experiment about rats becoming demented by eating your average American diet, that leads me into my next story about these fucking stupid idiot kids at these goddamn universities that are causing all kinds of ruckus because of the fucking Palestinian issue, for fuck's sake. Excuse my French. Put the PC shot on. Have you heard about this? Colombia threatens expulsions over building occupation. Now, for all those that don't know, there's been massive amounts of university protests because of the whole Palestinian issue. And let's be honest, folks, okay? This is utterly ridiculous. Because, look, the reason that the Palestinians are in the position they're in is because they put themselves in the position that they're in. I mean, once upon a time, when this happened before, this whole thing has happened before, kids, all right? The last time that this has happened, the Egyptians and the Jordanians allowed Palestinian refugees into their country. And because they felt sorry for them, right? Well, guess what? When they let these Palestinian refugees into their country, they became terrorists in those countries trying to overthrow the government. So they kicked them out. So while you've got all these Arab countries, especially OPEC Arab countries, talking all this mess about the Palestinians and how it's a travesty and all this bullshit, none of them, absolutely none of them want to take in one Palestinian refugee. Not one. And lest we forget that Yasser Arafat in 1997 at the Camp David Accords with Bill Clinton and then Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, they sat down, and Ehud Barak, which is probably one of the most liberal Israeli prime ministers in Israel's history, was willing to go back to pre-1967 borders. And Yasser Arafat said no. And you take a look at the borders of Israel and Palestine then, and you take a look at it now, I think Yasser Arafat should have taken the deal. And they didn't. So I don't know what it is that the Palestinians want at this point. All right, I mean, I think even Robert F. Kennedy Jr. once said that the Palestinians are some of the most pampered, spoiled people on the planet. I'm not joking. He said it. Go look it up. And yet, you've got a lot of these folks that are in these Palestinian protests that are looking at Robert Kennedy Jr. as a potential voting candidate. So, folks, the reason that we're seeing this is because young people, much like I just showed you in that rat experiment that we just watched, they're out of their minds. Aside from them eating all this processed garbage, at least 75% minimum of them are all on psychotropic drugs, which, in my opinion, has caused the mental health crisis that America is currently in. And not to bring back up that stock that I had suggested that I am invested in, all right, once again, a disclosure, ENVB, the reason is because, listen, we have to have some kind of alternative to mental health. And it has to be something else outside of these artificially chemical re-establishing fucking things. It's got to be something else. It's got to be something else. I'm also invested in another company that's an AI company that has already brain mapped the brain waves and chemical reactions and understands how to diagnose what's wrong with somebody based upon that brain mapping. I'll talk about that stock later. But this is what I'm talking about, folks. We have a mental health crisis. And if you don't think that this Palestinian ridiculousness at campus is not a mental health crisis, then I don't know what the fuck your problem is. I don't know what your problem is. I mean, this is a mental health crisis. You've actually got transgenders that are protesting for Palestine. You know, I have to show you all this. I'm not a big fan of this bagel eater named Alex Stein. But what he did over there at UT Austin, and I can't believe that's what UT Austin is, I thought was rather based. All right? So take a look at this. So once again, this is Alex Stein. I'm not a big fan of this bagel eater, but this is pretty based. Take a look at this. This was happening at UT. All right? My alma mater, for Christ's sake.
Get the fuck out of here. Dude. We're here at UT Austin, where I just got assaulted by transgender pro-Palestine people. I didn't realize gay for Palestine was actually real. But watch this video. Hey, can I ask you a question? In Palestine, aren't they mean to trans people? Aren't they mean to trans people? We're here at UT Austin, and trans people are out here protesting for Palestine, but don't Palestinians throw gay people off roofs?
Hey, sir, can you please leave?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna hang out right here. Can anybody tell me about, do they do any pride parades?
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, what are you gonna do about it? You guys are all idiots. You guys are transgender, but you guys aren't even allowed to be in Palestine. I know, but you know.
And look at Alex Stein just fucking like throw this guy like he's yesterday's garbage. Look right here. He fucking chucks this dude. Look at it. He fucking chucks this dude. He chucks this dude. Or I don't know, maybe it's not a dude. Maybe it's a them or they or whatever. But do you understand? Trying to bring awareness to this gay for Palestine movement. If that isn't mental health crisis, I don't know what is. If that isn't a mental health crisis of people that are claiming to be transgendered, going out and protesting for a people that would fucking throw them off buildings or chop their heads off. I mean, if that isn't mental illness, I don't know what is. I mean, I'm serious. If that isn't mental illness, I don't know what the hell is. I mean, can somebody explain to me what the hell it is? Anyway, folks, this is where we're at. And, you know, you've got folks in the media that are just...
I'd buy that for $1.
Hold on. So fighting for a true cause is mental illness for you? Man, you're an ass. Oh, wait, you got what I got? I got something up my ass. Hold on. Let me read some of these buy me a coffees because they have come in. Put the PC shot on. We've got...
I'd buy that for $1.
So, fighting for a true cause is mental illness for you? Man, you are so far up your ass. What are you talking about? These are people that nobody wants. Listen, the Palestinian people have done this to themselves. All right, I hate to say they've done this to themselves. Now, was I showing a little compassion towards the audacity and the aggressiveness of the onslaught by the Israelis right after the October 7th attack? Sure, I was. But, I mean, let's calm our asses down here and recognize that you don't have to cause a ruckus in your country of origin because of another country that probably doesn't even like you, that was celebrating during 9/11. Does anybody remember that shit? After 9/11, they showed Gaza, and they were going out in the streets and celebrating, for Christ's sake. And Woodshed Enforcer with a Rumble rant. It's pure ignorance by activists is what it is. Crap, open a beer and cheers, Ghost. Hey, crack and open a beer. Cheers to the Woodshed Enforcer, and thank you for chilling here with me, and thank you for modding, man. Anyway, we got Ghost of Hanukkah.
I'd buy that for $1.
What's going on, a man bear pig? A Ghost of Hanukkah present, death to Israel. All right, we don't condone that. All right, we don't condone that. And we've got trolling the interwebs. Gay for Palestine is just a bunch of agitators looking for stupid conflicts. They could care less about Palestine. I know. I mean, anybody with any kind of sound mind knows that, trolling the interwebs.
I'd buy that for $1.
Unfortunately, most people that are looking for something to belong to or longing for something to belong to find solace in getting the latest issue in order to find, I don't know, some virtue signaling appeal, empathy. I have no idea. But cheers to you, trolling the interwebs. I hear you, man. I hear you on that one. And put the PC shot on. Man Bear Pig, I hope more Jewish philanthropists and wealthy alumni donors start closing their wallets to these schools and organizations. Losing entitlements is the only language some people understand. I can agree to that. I think, who was it? I think it was Kraft, Bob Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, my bad, that cut off his alumni money to Columbia for this. And if you want my opinion, I think this should also show to everybody that going to college doesn't do a goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, going to college is a detriment, I think, for most people. Unless you're going to get college paid for and you have a full scholarship or mommy and daddy hooked you up with a college fund or something, don't even bother going. It's not even worth it. All right? I mean, look at all these people that have been paying for their stupid damn college debt for fucking 15, 20 years, pissing and moaning about it. Unless you got it paid for, and unless you're going to go to college for something that actually is going to give you a job, then don't even bother. Anyway, thank you, Man Bear Pig. And we got Noracore. What's going on in Noracore? Sup, Ghost? Good to see you doing TCR again. And cheers. Well, cheers to you, Noracore. Good to see you. Hope everything's going good with you, man. Cheers to you. And we got a $20 Rumble rant from Reverend Ralph. I'm not ready to do a face reveal, but I would absolutely run laps around Alex Stein's videos if I go to a campus. But I got 100 hours of work a week and a backlog as long as the Great Wall of China. Well, we all know that, especially if you're in the inner circle. Cheers to Reverend Ralph. Once again, hard worker, a capitalist, and, of course, a street preacher. So cheers to you, man. All right, cheers to you. We got the Rattler. Good money move to put money in is a CD account because the interest rates are high. I managed to get a CD at 5%. Hey, that's a very conservative way of investing. Ain't no hate in that game. I just don't get out of the bed in the morning for 5%. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm spoiled. All right. Flicker, who said, Ghost, I have a 2011 car. I think it's going to need a major work next year. Is a good time to get a new car? Should I wait? I have cash saved. I think that new cars right now are going down in price, but if you want my opinion, I think that you should try, as long as it's not too much, unless it's not like a replacement of an engine or a replacement of transmission or something. I would consider trying to see what you could do with that car, that 2011. I mean, used cars are actually going up in value. I mean, people want used cars. They don't want this new EV crap. I mean, it's a joke. And moreover, these EVs, whenever you have something wrong with them, they cost a fortune to fix, for heaven's sake. And what's going on to Jag Deluxe Ray with a Ninja Guinea? He wanted to ask if he could mod for me at some point. Maybe we could. He says he wants to mod during the Ghost Show. So cheers to Jag the Luxury with a Ninja Guinea, man. Good to see you once again. And Puerto Rican prostate punch with a rumble rant. Hamas attacked Israel because of the red heifer sacrifice. This will lead to their holy site being destroyed, to build a third temple. You have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, here we go again. All right, that's great. Well, then why are you listening if that's the case, all right? Anyway, we got, Sloth Facts, who usually does this during Ghost Show. Sloth pee, despite their rarely observed due to the abnormal lifestyle, plays a crucial role in their environment. The uric acid content in the sloth's urine is highly concentrated and helping them conserve water. When sloths urinate, they deposit this concentrated urine into the ground where it can act as fertilizer, enriching the soil with essential nutrients. This inadvertently contributes to the health and the fertility of the surrounding vegetation in the rainforest ecosystem. Well, that's great. All right, well, there you go. Thank you very much. And, of course, ZZZZZ, anybody who donates this or this stupid N-word crap, you're a piece of crap. All right? Look at this. You're a piece of garbage, whoever did this. You're a piece of garbage. You're a racist asshole. Anyway, who else? Did we miss anybody else here? Oh, no, Jesus Christ. Look at this crap. Look at this crap. And then more bands. And then we go Vox Artificial, Safe Space Sally. Press U to unban all Rumble chatters. I ain't gonna fucking unban anybody, all right? I ain't bunning anybody! Anyway, and then Bill, you're finally doing what everyone has been telling you to do for years, turn off the TTS. Well, hey, I mean, people like it, and then some people are like, why are you doing it? You're Safe Space Sally. Yeah. Anyway, once again, I think that these protests for the Palestinians along these colleges actually show why you shouldn't go to college. You shouldn't go to college. Now, some people are saying that, well, Ghost, look, you're just an old guy. You don't understand kids anymore, Ghost. Hey, there's a long history of older and younger people not seeing eye to eye on subjects, Ghost. All right, so calm your ass down. What do we need to see with this Palestinian issue? And by the way, it's mostly a lot of white people. All right, don't shoot the messenger. I keep highlighting this every fucking time, and everybody, I don't know, calls me some kind of Jew dick cheeseburger or some shit just because I'm highlighting the fact that the majority of these people that are going nuts, all right, and that are out here barricading themselves and camping out and doing all this bullshit for the Palestinians are mostly white, dumb, disenchanted, socially awkward pieces of garbage. All right? I mean, that's just the way it is. All right? And Zamboni, I'm not acknowledging that in the D-Live chat. I mean, I'm not acknowledging that. But you know what I think it is? I think it is that young people today are so dumb that they don't even have an idea on why they're protesting to begin with. I mean, did you see this tweet I put out, I think, a few days ago? Take a look at this. They put a camera and a microphone in the face of some dumb broad outside of NYU protesting for Palestine.
I'd buy that for a
Hey, what's going on, Mr. BN King, man? I'll get to yours in just a second. But take a look at this. All right, this is just, I just can't believe this. But this is the majority of young people today. They don't know shit. They act like they know shit, but they don't know a goddamn thing. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this dumb broad.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing?
About what?
About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated.
I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from
They don't know.
Columbia. I was there up at Columbia.
They don't know.
They said NYU students needed our support, so I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
And
They don't know.
Do
you understand that this is the majority of the people that are out here claiming to be protesting, claiming that they care about a cause? They don't know shit. All right, this is all virtue signaling garbage. I mean, look, you all can say, I'm talking to you young people, you all can say, well, you know, Ghost, the boomers, when you guys were out there, you went out and you protested, you did your stuff. Yeah, but we were self-aware. And not only were we self-aware, we could articulate what our grievances were. We knew why we were out there. And we were dedicated to being out there. You see, you guys are just going out there thinking it's some kind of an impromptu festival, for Christ's sake. I mean, all you're missing is, carnies and some fucking food vendors out there, for heaven's sake. It's stupid. So that's the difference. You young folks are just going out there for the sake of doing it in hopes of getting laid or getting props or getting empathy or getting... I don't know why you're doing it. But that's why you're doing it. But anyway, let's move on to another subject matter. I don't want to make too much time, take up too much time with that shit. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, dare I say, this election. This is why I haven't been doing too many True Capitalist radio shows, folks, because this election is an absolute joke. Both candidates are old windbags, and they're both corrupt pieces of shit. And it's not even like, hey, they may have done a little corruption over here, but it wasn't that bad, so let me put my periphery blinders on. It's not even that. They're both corrupt pieces of shit. All right? And moreover, Biden, on the other hand, doesn't even know. I think he's onset dementia. They pump him up full of something, and hopefully that lasts them for an hour, and that's about it. Take a look at this. White House had to come out and claim that Biden has made 148 mistakes in 2024 in public remarks. Now, why the hell would they be putting that out? All right? Isn't this guy supposed to be running an election? Isn't the White House supposed to come out and talk favorably towards this guy? I'm telling you, man, it sucks. We could beat the Democrats. The problem is, folks, the Freedom Caucus, which are a bunch of morons, which haven't introduced one piece of legislation or introduced any kind of policy whatsoever that benefits the general American public. All the Freedom Caucus does, even though the Republicans have a majority in the House, all they do is agitate in order for their faces to be in the media. All right, it's ridiculous, and we're going to lose the House, and obviously we're not going to gain anything in the Senate. So it's going to be a Democrat majority, and they don't have any fucking policies, man. You know what Joe Biden is doing? Joe Biden is MAGA light. All right, MAGA light.
That for $1.
All right, this guy, I'll get to you and Jatari in a minute, dude. This guy has taken what Donald Trump was advocating back in 2016, repackaged it up, and is now selling it as his own. Did you see the past couple of State of the Union speeches? I'm talking about made in America. We need made in America again. Made in America. We need American jobs. Y'all didn't hear that shit? That's what Biden said. He is literally mimicking the same shit Trump did back in 2016. We need America. We need American jobs. We're making America. We need to make America work again. Now, on the other hand, I don't know what Trump's doing, but we're going to talk about it in a minute. Now, aside from Biden and his, dementia-ridden ways, he's still got a campaign to run, and the folks that are running his campaign know that his son, this fucking guy that can't, keep himself away from high-priced prostitutes and cocaine. We all know about the infamous Hunter Biden laptop. And let me tell you, whoever advised Hunter Biden to do this, it had to be like David Brock or some evil piece of shit like that. Did you hear what Hunter Biden's doing? Hunter Biden is now suing Fox News and anybody else who aired any of his prostitution shit, any of his sexual relations, any videos of him naked or anything, and calling it revenge porn. I'm telling you, some evil fucking Democrat consultant like David Brock. All right, if y'all know who David Brock is, look him up. He's fucking a prince of fucking evil for the Democrats. He's like, Hunter, I think I have a solution. I know that you're suffering from this exposure of, your laptop and all the rendezvous that happen to be exposed on there. But I think that we can get around this by using some of the laws that have been implemented by your state and sue these folks that have been divulging the information in this laptop as revenge porn. Jesus Christ. But hey, you know it's campaign season. You know it's campaign season when they're doing fucking desperate shit like this. So, I mean, Fox may have to come out the pocket. They already came out the pocket for that damn Dominion lawsuit, the voting machine stuff. Unbelievable. And why is everything kind of coming to a header? Well, because RFK is still running. You know, RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Trump is going after RFK Jr. All right, and it's because apparently RFK Jr. is taking away votes from Trump. And Trump realizes this, and now he's going all in and trying to insult the hell out of RFK Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, let me show you what he tweeted out, or I should say he truth socialed out here recently about RFK. And when I do this, I do want to focus on the fact that once upon a time, Donald Trump was going to ask RFK to be a part of his administration. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. I tweeted this, and I said, MAGA is falling apart. Trump's contradictions and hypocrisy is finally catching up to him. And take a look at this. Is what's off of his Truth Social. I lived with RFK Jr. in New York and watched him convince Governor Cuomo to make environmental moves that were outright nasty. Upstate New York was not allowed to drill or frack as Ohio, Pennsylvania, and others ripped off New York's energy. Because of this, prices have skyrocketed all over that part of the country, but especially upstate New York and New England. Their energy costs are the highest in the United States, with the exception of California, run by Gavin Newsom. I can agree to that. The worst governor in the state's history. And take a listen to this. I'd even take Biden over RFK Jr. Did you see that? Did you see this shit? I'd even take Biden over Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because our country would last at least a year or two longer prior to collapse. But it would be dead either way. His views on vaccines are fake. His views on vaccines. Now, the reason I say this is because I'd like to have everybody recollect that, Kennedy and Trump, Trump almost appointed Kennedy to be some kind of a vaccine czar. All right, take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. All right, this is from 2017. Despite the facts, Trump once again embraces vaccine skeptics. And the reason is, folks, is because the 2016 Trump that ran, he wasn't a big fan of vaccines. And this is why he had Robert F. Kennedy Jr. circling around, because he wanted to appoint RFK Jr. as the leader of some kind of board investigating vaccines. That's why he was talking to him. So this is why, folks, I'm no longer a supporter of Trump, because Trump has no loyalty to anybody. How can you one day, back in 2016-17, want to appoint this guy to investigate what's going on with vaccines? And of course, the reason it didn't happen, folks, believe it or not, Bill Gates told Trump not to do this. Bill Gates told Trump not to hire RFK Jr. as some vaccine czar. All right? So just keep that in mind, all right, while Trump is now bashing RFK Jr. for whatever fucking reason. All right? I'm just saying. And by the way, I don't know if y'all remember, but I used to say that Trump, there was two different Trumps. Y'all remember in 2016-17? I used to say that Trump, there's two different Trumps going on. There's a red tie Trump and a blue tie Trump. Red tie Trump is actually the real Donald Trump. And the blue tie Trump is a different guy altogether.
I'd buy
now,
that
let me
for
explain,
$1.
all right? All right, let me explain. And no, I'm not going to read replies on my ex. I'm not going to check mentions. All right, this is not that type of show. Get the hell out of here! Now, take a look at this. This right here is Trump during his trial. He looks a little haggard. You know, you can definitely tell he's almost an 80-year-old man. Not looking good. You know, I mean, this was taken at his trial, kind of falling asleep there. I mean, hey, a trial's hard on anybody. I'm not trying to give the guy any kind of flack. I mean, a trial's not. I don't want to be a part of a damn trial. But take a look at him later on that night, hanging out with the boxer that just recently won the title, Garcia. Take a look at this. Ryan Garcia. Take a look at this guy. Take a look. What the hell is that? That doesn't look like the same guy. And take a look. He's got a blue tie on. And by the way, this particular picture has got everybody like wondering, like, well, what the hell is going on here? How did this guy, all right, this guy earlier who was out there at the trials and looking haggard, how the hell is he looking like this? Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that tidbit in there because it does look like a different guy. I mean, look at this. I mean, give me a goddamn break. He looks like fucking 15 years younger. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, five-finger prostate punch. I'm sorry, Ghost, but I've said this before. All politics since Obama era around the world is a joke. Well, it is. It's not too good. I'll be honest with you. All right, I'll be honest with you. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that little tidbit about Donald Trump in there and how he's probably still using body doubles to get by on shit. I mean, this is not. I mean, everybody uses them. All right. I mean, they're even speculating that Biden uses a few. Obviously, Putin uses a few, and that sort of thing. And speaking of Putin, all right, let's go ahead and make a transition from domestic politics into international relations, all right? Let's go ahead and talk about Russia since, you know, Donald Trump, for whatever reason, has a hard-on for Russia for whatever fucking reason. But we take a look at the current numbers that have come out for Russia's casualties. Take a look at this. Putin has lost 450,000 soldiers, 3,000 tanks and vehicles, and nearly 500 aircraft in the Ukraine invasion. Now, even though these are a lot of numbers, this is still not necessarily all of the capacity of Russia. And as I stated, folks, the reason that we're helping, I'm talking the United States, is helping Ukraine, it's not because we want the Ukraine to win. It'd be nice if they won, but we don't really want them to win. What we want is we want to deplete Russia of economic resources, military resources. We want to deplete them of population resources. We want to isolate them from the international community and that sort of thing. So as long as this continues to go, and as long as the Ukraine is continuing to push forth, whether in a losing or winning effort against Russia, Russia continues to have to drain its natural resources in order to continue this offensive. And that's the point. I mean, that's the damn point. All right, and Zamboni, what tie are you wearing tonight? What the hell does that mean over there at D-Live? But once again, folks, all right, Russia's taking a lot of casualties, but it's still in the war. I'm not trying to say it isn't. I mean, it's using every kind of resource it possibly can. But one thing that I did tell you, folks, didn't I tell you that, I think this was last year, I told you all, remember this name, ISIS-K. Remember that? Remember I told you all ISIS-K was actually CIA black operatives, that is a black operative outfit that's funded and armed and trained by the CIA? Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that last month ISIS-K went into a Moscow concert hall and murdered a bunch of people. And, Putin, he's been touting that, we're going to make these people pay, whatever terrorist did this, how dare them. He has not responded one iota. The only response that he's given is doubling down on some attacks on Ukraine. He has not done any kind of response in order to retaliate against the ISIS-K fighters. Now, I'll be honest with you, folks. I believe that whoever perpetrated this terrorist act on this concert hall in Moscow actually got away. I absolutely believe they got away. And the people that they're parading around are a bunch of patsies. And what Russia is trying to do, at least Putin is trying to do, it's trying to put this ISIS-K terrorist attack at this concert hall, trying to put a Tajikistan face around this terrorist attack. And now why? Because, folks, I reported last year, and I still got the article, all right? I reported last year that the ISIS-K fighters that are being trained by the CIA that are under our direct control are on the border of Tajikistan and Afghanistan. Put the PC shot on. I reported this last year. Take a look at this. February 15, 2023. 4,000 ISIS-K fighters stationed in Afghanistan near Tajikistan border. And this was by a Russian who admitted this. Now, the reason that you have Russia trying to put a Tajikistan face on this is so that Russia could potentially bomb this location without it looking like an escalation in the military theater. All right? So this is why you've got Russia a little scared at this point in time, because it doesn't know whether or not this is going to be the only attack. And really what this does, let me tell you what the terrorist attack on the Moscow concert hall does. It invokes fear into the population of Russia. Because remember, Russia has had a little bit of a Muslim problem with the Chechens. All right? So that's the first thing that this particular attack, this Moscow concert hall attack, has done. It invokes fear in the population, and it shows Russia that the CIA or ISIS, whoever, can go into their country and attack at will. I mean, this is an ISIS attack that evaded the authorities in a very tight, very locked down country and was able to evade any kind of capture and was able to pull this attack off. So it's right underneath Putin's nose, and he didn't know what to do with it. He had no idea. So that means that the FSB actually aided in carrying out this attack. So that's why he hasn't responded. I'm talking Putin. He's trying to figure out who the hell allowed this to happen and why. And by the way, by him trying to, put these Tajikistan people as the supposed culprits when it came to this terrorist attack, that is a desperate attempt at him trying to, like I said, he wants to bomb this area of Tajikistan that is housing now it's 9,000 fighters. It's now gone up some numbers here. 4,000 ISIS fighters stationed. He wants to bomb this location and not make it look like he's expanding the military theater. Now, the leader of Tajikistan has come out and has taken offense to Putin trying to put a Tajikistan face on this Moscow concert hall attack. And this particular attack has now made him bump heads with the Tajikistan leader, which, by the way, Tajikistan was once a part of the USSR. So, I mean, it's caused a lot of problems for old Putin. And on top of which, folks, it seems as if the guy that worships him over there in Chechnya, because prior to Kadyrov, Ramzan Kadyrov, before this guy, the Chechens hated the Russians. I mean, they were committing massive terrorist acts on Russian soil because of the 1994 bombing in Grozny and also other acts perpetrated by Russia. And it wasn't until Kadyrov came along and dedicated his life to Putin in which the Chechnyan danger kind of faded away. Well, I think that's about to come back to haunt Putin, folks. Take a look at this. Chechnya in jeopardy. What would the death of Ramzan Kadyrov mean for Putin? Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. Anyway, reports that Chechnyan strongman leader Ramzan Kadyrov is terminally ill poses a serious threat and a problem for Putin. You're goddamn right it does, because now that it's had a terrorist attack by, quote, ISIS-K, and now that you've got this leader, which is the only thing keeping the Chechnyans from going all-out jihad on Russia, is this fool. And the only reason this fool has authority is because his old man, who was the leader of the Chechnyan rebels, got killed, and this idiot bequeathed the whole Chechnyan rebel leadership. So now that this guy's terminally ill, who the hell is going to come and take the place of Kadyrov that is going to be pro-Putin? And by the way, we got some rumble rants here. Trolling the interweb. Some political commentators say Russia has more troops now than when the war started. We'll see about that. Trolling the interwebs. All right, we'll see about that. I'm not saying that they don't have more conscripts, but I mean, the whole point of this initiation of United States aid to Ukraine is to deplete all the natural resources that we possibly can from Russia. So cheers to trolling the interwebs. And Willow Wisp 85 with a rumble rant. Ghost, take your damn pills. You're going schizo, you old fart. Well, you can believe what you want, man. All right? I'm just a prognosticator for a reason. All right? But you can believe what you want. But anyway, going back to Kadyrov, as I told you, Kadyrov is the leader of Chechnya by default because his old man gave it to him. So now that the reports that he's terminally ill and could potentially be dying, what is Kadyrov trying to do? He's trying to preserve his legacy. And guess what Kadyrov is doing? Take a look at this shit. Kadyrov appoints his 16-year-old son as the supervisor of special forces in Chechnya. Take a look at this shit. I mean, if this isn't a sign of fucking desperation, give me a break. All right, so this goes to show you that this is a reason why Putin hasn't responded to the ISIS-K attack, because he's about to have a fucking Muslim problem. And you think that when Ramzan Kadyrov dies, you think they're going to let this fat little 16-year-old prick, be the supervisor of special forces? Hell no. And they're going to go back to the old ways of Chechnya and Russia, in which Chechnya is probably, if you want my opinion, I mean, I prognosticate these things. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Chechnya commit an act of terror in Moscow within the next month. Because that's what the whole ISIS-K thing was supposed to do. It was supposed to inspire other jihadists to do the same damn thing. So once again, a domestic issue that Putin has to deal with. Remember the last domestic issue that the CIA attempted to try to make a problem for Putin? Prigozhin. This is another one. All right, this is another one right here. So even though Putin may be looking decent on the front when it comes to Ukraine, domestically, he's not looking too good. All right? Domestically, not doing too well. Now, meanwhile, Zelensky, even though the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, was able to goof Trump into having some kind of a PR camera session with him. Did y'all see that, where Mike Johnson came out and Trump's there with him, like, yeah, this is Mike Johnson, whatever. Right after that, Mike Johnson went and sent aid to not just Ukraine, but to Taiwan and to Israel. Now, I don't disagree with what Mike Johnson did, because, I mean, the whole aid to Ukraine is basically to deplete the resources of Russia, and it benefits the United States in the long term. But even though we allocated all this resources now to Ukraine, here's Zelensky. Hey, we need a faster arms supply. You're not giving us arms fast enough. You're not giving us arms fast enough. And somebody said Johnson came out against aid. Yeah, that's why he signed it, you idiot, all right? That's why he signed it. All right, that's why he passed it. Anyway, once again, we need the more weapons. We need the more. And look, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I don't care, nor do the folks that are within the bureaucratic system of the government, especially at the black operative level. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if the Ukraine wins or they don't. The whole point is that we eliminate Russia as a superpower in the international community. And that's what's happening. All right, that's what's happening, baby. Anyway, Vox Artificials with a rumble rant. Fun fact about Putin. In French, they call him Vladimir Poutine because Putin sounds similar to a French word for whore. Well, thank you for giving us some facts there. I appreciate it there, Vox Artificials, instead of being a trolly bastard. Anyway, the reason Zelensky is complaining about faster arms being moved in is because they're not doing too well. They're not doing too well, for Christ's sake. And look, this...
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, Azov Battalion. Yeah, thank you, Rattler. Giving props to the Azov Battalion. But the reason that not only the leader of Ukraine, Zelensky, but also Stoltenberg, the head of NATO, is saying that, hey, come on, you gotta hurry it up with the goddamn weapons. Come on, Maine, is because, I'm talking Russia is taking positions. Take a look at this. After Putin's latest win, NATO chief confesses the West betrayed Ukraine as Russia takes 3 more villages away from the Ukraine. So this is why this delay in aid, kind of was at the detriment, unfortunately, of the Ukraine. And now NATO is calling us out. NATO's calling us out because, remember, under Trump called out NATO and was like, you need to pay your fair share. You need to do this. You need to do that. Take a look. Stoltenberg came out and said that, he said it. He said it. He said, look, it's not too late for Ukraine to prevail. But he talks about how that the Allies have to fulfill their promise to deliver more weapons. And you see, he calls out indirectly the United States because the United States was supposed to be supplying these weapons. And because we have these Freedom Caucus idiots and these pro-Russia MAGA people who have been co-opted by Russia who think Vladimir Putin is the greatest thing since sliced bread, this is why we've had a delay in this particular funding. And this is why Russia has taken advantage of this. All right, they've taken advantage. So I'm glad that we do have funding, and I'm glad that we're going to continue this operation, because I'm telling you right now, what's happening, because we're taking a back seat, and because Trump is now the nominee for the GOP, and because Trump is basically in the fucking cock holster of Vladimir Putin and would basically just withdraw every kind of support away from Ukraine and allow Russia to run roughshod, now all of a sudden the EU is coming out. Take a look at this. Europe is planning new nuclear umbrella with 300 French nuke missiles spread across the continent for a showdown with Russia. And didn't I say that this was the point? That if Russia, for whatever reason, got upset and they wanted to deploy any kind of tactical nukes or nuclear weapon or anything of that nature, they're not going to go after the United States. They're probably going to hit Europe. And now, all of a sudden, Europe is starting to recognize that, if Russia defeat the Ukraine, they're going to come after us. We need to do something, and the motherfucker. So this is what they're doing. They're legitimately, the EU is now taking a more aggressive stance against Russia, because now the EU doesn't know whether or not the United States has its hand on the chicken switch. All right, take a look at this. I'm not even joking around. All right, put the PC shot on. All right, I already put that one on, engineer. Get the next one. Excuse me, sorry, folks. Here, take a look at this. Take a look at what the Polish foreign minister said. Poland's foreign minister says Putin should fear a war with NATO. Should fear a war with NATO. So let me explain something right now, folks, all right? This is what I prognosticated a year and a half ago. I said that part of this is to deplete Russia of natural resources, but it's also to induce the European countries to confront Russia on top of our aid to Ukraine, so that we can deplete both of these superpowers, because we certainly don't like the EU. I know optically we're showing that, the EU, they're our pals, they're our buddies, they're this, they're that. But in actuality, folks, they don't show us any kind of ally friendship whatsoever. They charge us tariffs. They don't allow us to bring in our products without these massive fucking tariffs that go into their country. They are pieces of shit. No offense to the EU people. I'm talking about your government. We, the United States, under the Marshall Act, rebuilt Europe. And Europe has the audacity to come out and treat us like this. So what we're doing as black operatives, or at least on a black operation level, is trying to induce a confrontation between Europe and Russia. Because then it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. And it makes the United States look like the third party that's trying to mitigate the situation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Vox Artificials, also, you're getting more views on X than any other platform. any plans to stream a future ghost show there, I'm not streaming a ghost show on X. Are you kidding me? I'm not streaming a ghost show on X. And we got Belligerent Brian with a Rumble rant. I'm not going to slam the hand. Yeah, fuck the EU. I agree with that there. Belligerent Brian, whatever the hell your name is. But look, it is actually happening, folks. The Poland foreign minister is saying that Putin should fear a war with Russia, or with NATO, excuse me. And take a look at this. NATO is even saying it. NATO is even saying, put the PC shot on. NATO ready for a direct confrontation with Putin's Russia. Top Admiral warns. So I'm telling y'all right now, folks, all right? I mean, it looks very, very close. Very close between Europe and Russia confrontation. And it's beautiful because the United States has nothing to do with this. We're just sending money. We're sending arms. We're sending aid. You know what I mean? It's not like we're even sending troops into the arena of combat. So I'm telling y'all right now, man, I mean, America, as far as our international relations is concerned, you got to give Antony Blinken all the credit in the world. Our domestic front, on the other hand, is completely fucked. All right? Our domestic situation is completely screwed up. And that's why I haven't done too many ghost shows, because there's not many solutions to this domestic problem. I mean, many of the folks, I mean, as I alluded to at the beginning of the show, are a bunch of spoiled brats. And they think that they're above certain labor. They think they're above certain rules. They think they're above certain things when they don't do anything. They haven't done shit. They have no experience in anything. So anyway, folks, this is actually what's happening right here. All right? NATO's ready for a direct confrontation with Russia. Now, with that being said, China, on the other hand, is trying to play its own diplomatic games. Now, let's go ahead and make a transition into China. Put the PC shot on. Xi Jinping understands what we're doing. So what Xi Jinping is doing, he's going around on a diplomatic mission in order to drive a wedge between Europe and the United States. And you see, Xi has dedicated a lot of his time, effort, and energy on trying to do these diplomatic games. I don't think that he's very good of a diplomat. I think that all he does is go and attempts to try to dictate the terms to the parties in general, and they give him lip service, and nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever gets done. But we'll see what kind of loyalty Europe has to China at this point in time to drive a wedge between us and Europe. And look, even though we may be on some contentious type of tightrope with Europe, we're never going to outright confront each other in any capacity. It's just Xi's way as at attempting to have more clout in his favor as opposed to the United States. But with that being said, even though they're trying to drive a wedge between the United States and Europe, China is trying to bow down without looking like a chump. Did y'all see this? Blinken is in China right now. And this is a signification that China is trying to negotiate a way to go back to some kind of stable relations with the United States while trying to save face and not look like a bunch of bitches. And this is a very complicated situation because China has already bit off more than it can chew when it comes to its threats, when it's come to its confrontation, when it's come to its domestic policy. I mean, it's ruined its economy. Xi Jinping has tried to copy a lot of the Maoist economic reforms, and it has caused the entire economy of China to go backwards. And now China realizes that if it doesn't have the United States' consumption, which, by the way, we've been decoupling from China ever since Trump came to office. And by the way, when Biden came in, he didn't take off the tariffs away from China. He didn't decide to go light on China. He doubled down. He doubled down, for Christ's sake, on upping the tariffs for China and that sort of thing. So, I mean, there's a decoupling going on. All right? There's a decoupling going on. I've talked about this. Here, let me show you. I mean, I talked about this. Look at this. Despite Yellen, U.S. and China decoupling has a momentum of its own. And now, folks, China is no longer our biggest trading partner anymore because of the decoupling from Trump to Biden to now. And our biggest trading partner now is Mexico. Mexico is now our biggest trading partner. And this is why China is now back at the negotiating table with Antony Blinken. And they're trying to come up with some way in order to bring back relations without it looking like the Chinese bow down. And remember, honor is real big amongst these Asiatic races. So this is really, I think, the context on why we're still doing this with these fucking Chinese. Because they want to save face. They've already said too much. They've talked too much shit. All right, so they can't just, bow down. All right? And by the way, while this is happening, they're doing a lot of weird economic moves as well, which, draws a cause for concern when it comes to America and its foreign policy. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. China may be preparing to deploy an economic nuclear option. And the reason that they're saying this is because right now China is accumulating a massive amount of commodities. All right? I mean, take a look at this. The gold trading. Take a look at that chart for gold trading. And on top of which, it is rapidly buying a bunch of commodities, agriculture, livestock in mass, as well as gold, oil, which suggests that, A, it's either going to potentially go into a military confrontation and is expecting to be isolated and is trying to accumulate such commodities in order to withstand any kind of isolationism, hence the similar to the situation that's happening with Russia and the Western civilization. They're accumulating these commodities in hopes of trying to negate that. Or they're expecting an economic collapse and they're using these commodities as a potential safety net. Those are the two options right now on why China is buying up all this gold, buying up all these commodities, all kinds of oil. It's either because they're preparing for war or they're preparing for economic collapse. And if they're preparing for economic collapse, then they might as well prepare for war. And this is what makes China so dangerous. So that's why China is now at the negotiating table with the United States, hoping that, we can, take down the tariffs, increase our trading partnership and that sort of thing to save the economy. And take a look at this. The government is trying everything. Look, they're about to step up support for the economy. They're going to flexibility in their policy tools. They're going to do whatever it takes. Basically, they're going to try to do what the Fed did and continue to print money. The problem is that China's been doing this. I mean, every president from Trump to Biden here recently has said that China debases their currency. And they debase their currency so that we, the United States businesses, cannot compete in their markets. And you see, that's why, even though all these dumbasses like Elon Musk recently was just in China hoping to hawk some of these Teslas that aren't selling out here, and Ray Dalio and all these fucking idiots are out there thinking that China is this big juggernaut when it comes to economy. How can that be when its monetary policy has debased its currency to make it non-profitable for anybody to enter its market? So if it's going to use a printer go burr type of situation with its monetary system, it's only going to make shit worse. It's only going to make shit worse. So once again, this is why China doesn't know what the fuck it's going to do. It's half-ass playing footsies with us via Antony Blinken in the recent meeting. Antony Blinken is in China right now, and they're accumulating all kinds of commodities. So, I mean, they're either preparing for war or preparing for an economic collapse. Now, I just showed you that the Politburo is willing to pull out all stops to prevent the economy from collapsing. Now, what war would China get into? I don't think it's going to be Taiwan. I know that they're pressuring Taiwan. I know that they're kind of bullying Taiwan by entering their airspace, but I think it would be completely a suicide mission if China decides to invade Taiwan because the only way that you can invade it is by sea. And sea invasions statistically don't fare very well historically. So, and moreover, I think that you have a little bit of a motivated population in Taiwan that will refuse to, bow down and allow China to just come in and, take over their country. So, in my opinion, I think that the Philippines might be a target for China, because if they go and confront the Philippines, I mean, yeah, the United States may back them up, but they're certainly not going to pull out all military stops like they would if they were to invade Taiwan. And take a look at this. Chinese water cannon damages ship in new South China Sea flare-up with the Philippines. So, in my opinion, folks, there has to be some kind of war footing that this country of China has to get into. Because if it's going to economically collapse, the only other option to sustain the communist government is to put yourself on a wartime economy. And that's exactly what it looks like. And I don't think it's going to be Taiwan. It may be Philippines. And this way, when they clean the clocks of the Philippines, because I don't think the Philippines are going to be much of a battle for the Chinese save face and show the world like, yeah, look at us. Look at us. So anyway, that right there is the 411 on China. And speaking of China, all right, as I was saying earlier during this China segment, that the Chinese are trying every diplomatic measure in order to gain influence with either our allies and our foes. All right, and trying to make themselves optically look like the peacemaker as well. I've talked about that as well. China trying to optically make themselves look like the peacemaker. I mean, they tried to bring Iran and Saudi Arabia together in a peace deal, which is, kind of turbulent if you want to ask me.
I'd buy that for $1.
And by the way, I'm going to get to the buy me a coffees in here in just a second. But now what is China trying to do? They're trying to put their goddamn noses into the Palestinian-Israeli situation. All right? Rival Palestinian groups, Fatah and Hamas, meet in China. So this is what China's trying to do. They're trying to do whatever it takes in order to optically make themselves look like the peacemakers on an international front, when in actuality, they're trying aggressively to assert themselves on the globe on a subtle front or on a subliminal front. So this is what's happening. And with that being said, let me go ahead and get to some of these buy me a coffees, because we did have a lot of them. And by the way, if you want a buy me a coffee, just let me know. All right. Go to buymeacoffee.com/ghostpolitics if you appreciate what you're hearing here, man. Cheers to everybody out there who's listening. We're on all kinds of platforms. We have no chat on the screen because these idiot trolls had to act like jerk-offs. So anyway, let me get to some of these buy me a coffees. We got a Palestine kid. Dude, these people are dying by the hundreds every day. Israel has been killing them for a long time. They stand up for themselves once, and now we're justifying a genocide, Ghost. They're kids dying. I mean, look, I was the one at first saying that, hey, Israel, you're getting a little heavy-handed with this offensive, and you're killing a lot of innocent children, and you're killing a lot of innocent women and that sort of thing. But at the same time, there's been many attempts by many different administrations to put a peaceful solution to this issue. And I go back to the 1997 Camp David Accords, when Bill Clinton brought then Prime Minister, one of the most liberal prime ministers in Israel, Ehud Barak, together with Yasser Arafat, and Ehud Barak was willing to commit to pre-1967 borders, meaning he was going to use Israeli forces to kick out settlers so that we can go back to the 1967 borders. And guess what? Didn't happen. Didn't happen. And why? Well, you got to ask the Palestinians that. They're the ones that rejected the pre-1967 borders, and look at them now. Look at them now. Anyway, Mr. BN King hooking it up. If you want my opinion, some of these students, he's talking about the Palestinian protest, who are protesting need to be expelled, or better yet, sent to Palestine Ground Zero, and see what happens if they can do that and face reality. Thanks for doing a TCR show, Ghost, and cheers. I agree, BN King. And, you know, there are some people that have actually went there. I read about some guy who felt sympathy for the Palestinian situation, actually find himself over there in Palestine, and, of course, he was killed by one of the Palestinians. So, you know, you got to figure that out for yourself. I agree. I think all these people that are out there that are like, yeah, man, I'm willing to die for Palestine, and I'm taking over, wings of the fucking university, and yeah, pro-Palestine. We should put them all on a fucking plane and send them to Palestine. All right? And say, look, if you all think you know better, since y'all are college educated, why don't you go over there and help the Palestinians rebuild? Why don't you go over there and try to give them some kind of, 411 on how to run society? They would chop their fucking heads off once they entered into the area of Palestine. You know it, and I know it. Anyway, Jatario, can we skip this election? I'd rather vote for an empty seat. And also, what do you think about the Paki resigning in Scotland? Cheers. I know everybody in Scotland is heel kicking. But if you want my opinion, I think the alternative is worse, and you're going to see that. I think I think I saw Count Dacula, skipping around to his loo about this guy stepping down. But I think that it's going to get worse. I don't see this resigning getting any better for Scotland. I mean, Scotland is a very divided country. Part of Scotland wants to stay a part of the Commonwealth of Britain, and part of it actually wants to be its own autonomous country. And you think, oh, well, that's good, right? An autonomous Scotland, right? Away from the Commonwealth. No, they want to be an autonomous Scotland so they can join the European Union. So I think Scotland is fucked either way. But still, continue to make your scotch, you know what I mean? Anyway, we got Prince here.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, what's going on to Dr. Midnight, man? How you doing, man? A Prince here. He said, Ghostler, you cannot escape the fact that you spent 2 decades shilling for Israel. Nonsense boomer rhetoric about how your masters are somehow our greatest ally or some glorified airbase. We have receipts. Now you attack this movement by using low-hanging fruit. Footage of brain-dead American mutts on campuses. Who cares what they think? And who cares about what other desert people think of Palestinians? The world is waking up. Dude, I think you are an absolute schizophrenic. I mean, you know, we talk to this. I talk to this Prince in the inner circle, and everybody thinks he's a fucking idiot. You know, no offense, Prince. They think you're a fucking moron, and you really don't know what you're talking about. Every time we try to put you on, like, explaining your grievances, and instead of just saying, oh, you don't know, you get the Jews, and, you know, the idea is people are waking up, and their things are they're gonna be destroyed, or whatever the fucking case might be, you have no idea how to articulate your grievance. You're just some dumb idiot, no different than these damn college kids that are sputtering out a bunch of word salad and thinking that you're valiant for it. And you make me sick. People like you make me want to throw up nasty chicken grease, corn oil, and cream of wheat with 5-day-old cereal and stomach plasma. Anyway, ideas that would get you fired a few years ago are now popular. Anti-Semitic content on Twitter gets millions of views and stays up. Yeah, it's probably Jews posting it, too. That's, I mean, if you want my opinion, I mean, come on, huh? I saw Borat, all right? Sacha Baron Cohen is, you couldn't get any more Jewish. And yet, if you saw Borat, that's all the movie was about, is making fun of Jews. So, you got to figure that out for yourself. Again, I'm not some bleeding heart. I think you're a schizo. I just don't like your leaders and how they bend the knee and kiss the Wailing Wall. All of your boys, Abbott, DeSantis, Biden, Trump's fat ass, Christie, they exist to serve the tribe just like your country. You can't deny any of this. So go ahead and slander my good name or insult my country you know nothing about. What are you talking about, know nothing about? Your fucking country is a joke. Australia is lost. Australia is completely lost, for Christ's sake. I mean, they're talking about throwing people in jail for tweets over there, all right? So watch what you say, all right? All right, watch what you say. I dare you, Prince. Go on Twitter and say this shit, All right, go on Twitter right now and say this shit and see if some fucking PM over there doesn't find your tweet and throw you in fucking jail. All right, Australia is lost. Anyway, sorry for the rant. Make me a mod. After all that shit, make me a mod. And have a nice day. Expect OC soon of me cooking and interviewing the people. I can't let my beauty go to waste any longer. Well, go ahead and do that. And don't call me Yosemite Ham. And no, I'm not checking my X post or my mentions, all right? Shut up. Oh, gee, who did this? Now, who the hell did this? Who the hell did this crap? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, folks, all right? You know, these fucking trolls, man.
I'd buy that for $1.
These fucking trolls, man. Anyway, Rattler said, go Azov. He's talking about the Azov battalion over there in Ukraine. And defund Israel. The reason the Jews have been running out of every country they've infested and have been regulated to a small concentration camp they call a country. What? I need Biden to run up the gas bill, if you know what I... dude, we're not condoning that, all right? I don't know who the hell donated that. You're a fucking sick piece of shit. And we got Dr. Midnight in the house. Good to hear you got rid of the TTS. It makes the show listenable. I hope things are going well with you. Shout out to the engineer, and cheers, all right? Well, hey, Dr. Midnight said, what's up, engineer? Hey, you said, what's up, Dr. Midnight? Good to see you, man. And I'm glad you're listening in. Cheers, man. We got the base department. Ghost, the Palestinian people are fucking ungrateful. I saw a video of a Palestinian man complaining about the MREs we are sending him. If they were starving, they wouldn't be complaining about this shit. Fuck them. What do they expect? Filet mignon? Give me a fucking break. Base department, that's what I'm trying to suggest here. That's what I've been saying. I mean, I'm not trying to be a mean prick or anything. It's not like I'm heartless. But like RFK said in an interview, you can find that interview, by the way, that the Palestinians are the most spoiled people on the planet. The most spoiled people on the goddamn planet. So, I mean, I hate to say that I agree with him, but I mean, that's just the way it is. Anyway, Five Finger Prostate Punch, he says he wants me to get to Radio Graffiti. No, not on this show. On the Ghost Show, but not on this show. And trolling the interwebs, my thought on Palestine, Israel, when a monster fights a demon, I, as a human, can only hope they destroy each other. Well, that's an interesting take there, trolling the interwebs, because I agree. I do think both sides of this issue, Israel-Palestine, are fucking nuts. All right? They're fucking nuts. And I think, in my personal view, we shouldn't be fighting holy wars from old dogmatic crap in the 21st century. I mean, we're living in modernity, for Christ's sake. But then again, what do I know? Five Finger Prostate Punch. Sorry, Ghost, that was me. What are you talking about? The crap that we just saw on Buy Me a Coffee, for Christ's sake? Well, that's great. Anyway, folks, look, I've been on here for about 2 hours and 12 minutes. And I do want to say, I do appreciate everybody for, at least now. The beginning of the show was a little trolly, but I'd like to thank everybody now for chilling and listening to the content, because there's some serious issues that need to be put forth. But anyway, this is how True Capitalist Radio is going to be from now on. I am not going to have any more text-to-speeches on True Capitalist Radio. You can only do Rumble Rants or Buy Me a Coffees. Hey, hold on, we just got another Buy Me a Coffee. But these are the only things that I'm going to be taking on this broadcast, because the text-to-speeches were just ridiculous. All right? They were just ridiculous. Put the PC shot on. Defund Israel again. Biden needs to make a $100 billion gas investment into Israel, if you know what I mean. Look, that's enough, all right? For Christ's sake, that's enough. All right? Jesus Christ. I'm not bringing back the TTS. I'm not going to bring back text-to-speech. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, it's a joke. I can't get anything across whenever I'm doing that. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that shit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, folks, I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these True Capitalist radio shows. I don't know if I'm going to be doing them. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. I'm going to try to do them twice a week. I'm going to try to do True Capitalist Radio twice a week, and I'm going to try to do Ghost Show at least once or twice a week as well. All right? So that's what we're going to try to do. All right? Anyway, folks, I really don't have anything more to cover at this point in time. I just wanted to have a True Capitalist Radio show because I knew a lot of folks out there wanted to hear some straight political dope and some financial insight. And I hope that everybody out there appreciates, this broadcast. And I'm talking about the serious people. I'm not talking about these morons that have anime characters as their profile picture. These people that are fanning their nuts, to pre-teenage cartoon girls that are made from Japan. All right? So anyway, I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in with me. And I'm going to see if we can make these a little more often. And by the way, if you take a look, I'm also streaming on Twitter, by the way. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. All right, 626 views. So I have to agree with Vox Artificials. I mean, since I am broadcasting over there on Twitter, you got a lot of folks listening in. We also got like close to 300 people on YouTube. We've got about 50 people on D-Live. We got about 50 people over there in Kick. And I think we got, how many people on Rumble? Does anybody know how many people we have on Rumble? I'll check and look at it right now. Let's take a look at it. All right, we got some people on Rumble here. We got 144 people. 144 people on Rumble. So anyway, folks, the next show that I'm going to do on a True Capitalist Radio side, I don't know, maybe Friday? I don't know yet. But I definitely am going to do a Ghost show either Wednesday or Thursday. So if you like the show, if you do like the Ghost show, I will be doing it either Wednesday or Thursday. Depending on how my voice is, I will do another True Capitalist Radio on Friday. But we'll see. All right? We'll see, man. Anyway, thank you all very much. Well, what? Y'all want to continue to talk? Look at NY Viking in the Rumble chat. You can do 10 hours of nonsense, but intellectual talk only gets 2 hours? Well, what do y'all want to ask? I mean, throw on some Rumble rants or throw on some Buy Me a Coffees. I'll answer whatever you have to say. Just don't be trolly, for Christ's sake. And Vox Artificials, I like Cat Can's ideas. Maybe we can do X Space instead of Radio Graffiti. You know what? That's a good idea. Let's do that. Hold on. Let me see if I can do that right now. How about that? Let's create my space. All right? And people, anybody can come in. And what do you want to talk about? We'll call this the open floor. All right? Open floor debate. All right? On anything that you want to debate. All right, here it is. Let's go ahead and start it now. All right, can we do this? All right? Let's do this. All right, folks. We are now going to load some kind of space here. And let me see. Here we go. All right. Now, we are now hosted on Spaces. Here, let's go ahead and do this. Put the PC shot on. All right, so all you got to do is connect to the space here. Right there. You see? All right, now we've got people connected. And defund. Salute to the fewer. Dude, that's whoever the hell is donating is defund Israel. Give me a break. Anyway, folks, we are now on an open floor debate on Twitter Spaces. All right? And if you know how to get there, let us know. And if you have anything to say, give us the 411 if you have anything to say. We got Vox Artificial who suggested this. So anyway, if anybody wants to debate anything, let me know right now. Somebody, I mean, can't you put your hand up or something if you want to debate or some shit? And by the way, can I move this? Yeah, I can move this. Here we go. All right, put this like right here. All right, we got a lot of people in here. All right, so does anybody want to say anything? Is there anybody that actually wants to discuss anything? Or are you all just going to play with your damn Peter Poppers? I mean, all right. Anybody? Oh, you could put your hand up if you want to goddamn talk. I mean, Jesus Christ. You see, why do I even host this shit if nobody is even going to raise their hand to talk? Hold on, we got urinator. Urinator, really? Urinator? I mean, I'm not picking urinator. All right, that guy's a freak. There's a guy named Satan AIDS. I mean, nobody wants to say a goddamn thing? All right, get this out of here. All right, this was a joke. All right? Everybody's just a goddamn listener, and nobody wants to say a goddamn thing? All right, get this out of here. How do you close this shit? Close this fucking shit. What a joke. All right, get this shit out of here. What a bunch of punks. End this shit. Everybody that's listening in on Twitter Spaces, you're all a bunch of fucking posers and you're cowards. All right? Yeah, you could sit there, you can go ahead and listen, you can fan your nuts, but when it comes down to you actually exposing some level of personality in your ass, guess what? You don't got none. All right? And that's why America is being flushed down the proverbial toilet because of your unoriginal bullshit. Because your lack of personality. All right, end this stupid shit. End the damn thing. Screw this crap. Screw it. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Jesus Christ. And by the way, delete the fucking Spaces. Delete the shit. Is it still on? Okay, good. It ended. Thank God. Fuck. What a joke. What a fucking... delete that shit. Delete it. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in with me. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Cheers to Jag the Luxray, who hooked it up with a diamond here. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a ghost show either Wednesday or Thursday. Follow me on Twitter if you have Twitter. Put the PC shot on. The Ghost Report, all one word, no underscores. That's the best way to know when yours truly is broadcasting. And, of course, I also have YouTube. All the folks that are on YouTube over there, I think we got about 300 people listening. Follow me on YouTube. All right, Ghost Politics, all one word, no underscores, is the name, Ghost Politics, at Ghost Politics. And I'm also on Instagram. The Instagram to follow is Capitalist Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Will I start doing TCR weekly? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All right, so that's what I'll be doing. And as a matter of fact, I may be doing other things as well. But anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you happen to have gotten banned, I'm going to try to unban everybody by the Ghost Show because I know all you trolly bastards, y'all like to shit talk and, fuck you and all this crap. Not on True Capitalist Radio, man. Not on True Capitalist Radio. All right? This is a new era of True Capitalist Radio. And look, we can have some laughs and, maybe you could talk some shit, but it can't be 24-hour trolling and shit. We can't do this, all right? We can't do this. So, once again, Ghost Show either Wednesday or Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time-ish, all right? Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for tuning in with me. It has been a pretty decent time, if I don't say so myself. Anyway, let's see when the next goddamn True Capitalist Radio is. And by the way, ghost.report is the official website. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot. We got merch now. We got fucking merch now. By the way, let me show the merch, all right? You can get to the merch by typing in your browser ghost.market. Ghost.market right now in your browser. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. We got Radio Graffiti shirts and stickers. We got Ghost Politics shirts and stickers and swag and all this stuff. We got look at this. American capitalist garb, man. All right. So anyway, this is just a few items that we put up on there. I know people have been demanding it. All right. And look, it's the summertime. We're about headed into the summertime. Don't start talking about jackets and shit. All right. Ghost.market. That's all you got to type in your browser right now to get to this. Type in ghost.market. It's as simple as that, man. All right. We got merch in the house as well. And that's only because people have been asking about it. And look, there's Vox Artificial. Where are the jackets? And Trolling the Interweb says he's going to collect them all. Hey, cheers to Trolling the Interwebs, baby. And you want the link to it here? Let me just give you the direct link. Let me give the direct link to everybody here. Here it is. All right, there's the link. And Five Finger Prostate Punch, can we get some Aussie merch? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see about that. Anyway, let me put that in there. Let me put that in every chat room here. so that everybody can get to get to some merch going on over here, man. What's going on? Chat room here. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. I just went into the YouTube channel, and there it is right there. Let me go ahead and pin that. So anybody who wants merch, that's by popular demand, by the way. That's by popular demand. Anyway, folks, thank you all very much for tuning in with me. And if you're wondering why some of the shirts are kind of expensive, it's because these are like heavy tees that are meant to, last a while. They're not these cheapos that are going to, 2 washes, they look like fucking faded shit. And trolling the interwebs, we should debate whether the tanky right or the enemy right is doing more to save America. I don't know. I don't know about that, trolling the interwebs. And we got Five Finger Prostate Punch with a Rumble rant. I'd like a notebook so I can start a manifesto. All right. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. Once again, I'm going to be doing True Capitalist Radio more often. Ghost Show, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, either tomorrow or Thursday. I hope to see you all there. Anyway, until next time, this has been True Capitalist Radio, episode number 689. Cheers to everybody out there who is listening. Until next time, I'm out of here.